Hi, my name is Josipa VISIC. I'm a full professor at Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism at University of Split, Croatia. I will present you a paper on determinants of financial poverty in selected European countries written together with Magda LOVRIC. This presentation is divided into three segments. After introduction, I will tell you more about data transcription and the method we use. And of course, it will be followed by presenting our results. Presentation will end with a conclusion. Poverty represents a circumstance or a state in which an individual does not have enough material or financial resources to meet their basic life needs. It's called absolute poverty, or needs that represent a minimum standard in the society in which they live, often called relative poverty. Poverty is significant because of its broad impact on individual well-being, social stability, and global economic development, and it's a global challenge that concerns not only underdeveloped countries but also developed ones. However, in underdeveloped countries, poverty often arises from a lack of essential resources such as education and healthcare. In contrast, in developed countries, it is usually associated with income distribution inequality and a lack of appropriate social policies. There are different types of poverty, and our analysis is focused on financial poverty. When it comes to measuring financial poverty, most authors use definition of relative poverty and calculate the share of individuals whose equivalent income is less than 60% of the median income of the observed country. In addition to relative poverty level, in empirical studies, there are often different poverty measures that are used, such as material deprivation rate, the Gini coefficient, or at risk of poverty and social exclusion rate, the Human Development Index, and so on. When we analyze different studies on determinants of financial poverty, there are different independent variables that are used, but they vary depending on whether research is done on a country level, and if it's done on a country level, often they include GDP, unemployment rate, and country's social inclusion degree or something similar. But if the study is focused on individual data or on an individual level, these variables often include the type of employment, the individual's level of education, sex, and the age of the respondent. Our analysis is focused on determinants of financial poverty, but observed on a country level. Our analysis is done on selected European countries, and we use data from 2012 ranging up until 2022, and we used panel data analysis. As a dependent variable, we used at the risk of poverty rate as a measure of a poverty, and as independent variable, we use GDP per capita, unemployment rate, expenditure on social protection, and general government gross debt. We used Eurostat as a data source and SPSS to analyze this data. As I said, we used panel data analysis, and we formed 3 models, and that you can see results of these 3 models in this table. And we used 3 tests to actually choose between ordinary square fixed effect and random effect models, and results of F-test, Grosch-Pagan test, and Hausmann test directed us to focus on fixed effect model. As we can see in this model, some of the variables have statistically significant impact and others do not. Regarding GDP per capita, we expected it to have statistically significant impact, and we expected that in countries with higher GDP per capita, poverty levels will be lower. However, our results indicate that this effect is not significant. However, when it comes to unemployment rate, as we expected, it has a statistically significant and positive effect, meaning that in countries with a higher unemployment rate, it is expected that poverty levels should be higher or are higher. Regarding expenditure on social protection, we presume that if this expenditure is higher, that poverty levels will be lower. However, our results indicate that this impact, or that this variable does not have a statistically significant impact. When it comes to general government gross debt, we got a result indicating that if this government gross debt is higher, that poverty levels in a country will be lower. At first, this result might seem unexpected, but this government debt might be used actually to decrease the poverty levels in the country. Therefore, a stronger conclusion on connection between these two variables should be made with a certain reserve, or a future analysis should be made before making a strong conclusion about the connection between these two variables. And to sum up results we got, some of them were in accordance to our expectation, but some not. And as I said, regarding GDP per capita, we expected a negative impact, and our results did not confirm our expectation. And similar happened with expenditure on social protection. When it comes to unemployment rate, we got a positive connection, and the results confirmed our expectation. And we also argue that our expectations are confirmed when it comes to general government gross debt. However, we must emphasize that a stronger conclusion on connection between these two variables should include additional analysis that is not made or presented here. And as any other research, this also has a certain shortcomings, and hopefully they will be eliminated in the future analysis of the respective team, and we hope to address them in our future research on this issue. And we plan to add explanatory variables, and we also plan to use alternative poverty measures, and also to expand the sample size to include countries outside European territory. Thank you for your attention.